So our next keynote speaker is, let me tell you, extremely boring. Extremely boring to say the least. Gary Vaynerchuk is a friend of mine, a mentor, and because we're gonna be all professional here, he's a self-trained wine expert, is revolutionizing the wine industry. His blog, Wine Library TV, affectionately known as The Thunder Show. I was not invited on the cruise, which I was really disappointed about. It boasts a cult-like following resulting from his enthusiastic, unconventional, and often irreverent wine commentary. So without further ado, I'll welcome Gary Vaynerchuk.
Hey, how badass is this thing I'm wearing? They're like, do you want this, or this? I'm like, that. It's awesome. Exactly, that's what I was thinking. Order now, 5. So, there's a lot of things I believe in, and how many people have seen a talk of mine? I just want to gauge, so a good amount. So with that good amount, I want to start lining up the mics, please, because I think what happens in a lot of conferences is that a lot of people come up here and tell you what you should do or what they do or their story, and I think a lot of times there's a lot of content that's repurposed, right? You've seen the videos online, you've seen the tweets, you've seen the thoughts. Ben, a couple of speakers ago, talked about a lot of things that I believe in quite a bit. I'm really a pretty simplistic dude in the things I believe in. So what I'd like is, with that many people that have seen talks of mine before, I want to probably do 95% Q&A. So I'll just give you a little bit here. First and foremost, I love my family much more than anything else. That's first and foremost. And I think, thank you. I think people get lost in what they're doing a lot of times. And so for me, I don't. For the many of you that don't know who I am, I was born in Russia, in Belarus, in the former Soviet Union. And in 1978, my family came to this country. We were very poor. We thought America was paved with gold. Things were gonna be awesome. Grandma got mugged in the first 2 weeks in Queens, New Jersey, in New York. That wasn't good. Jimmy Carter was president. Things were a little bit of a mess, and it was really, really tough. And I always say I got fortunate enough to live in a studio apartment with 8 of my family members, because I really do believe that ultimately every person in this crowd, as much as you're gonna read and listen and watch keynotes and think and expand and take in data, content, at the end of the day, DNA is one powerful son of a bitch. Really, really powerful. And I think once you get to a place where you embrace your DNA, you've got a real chance to succeed. That's something I did. I was a shit student, which was weird because every other immigrant in my family's, friends and other people that came over to America were dominant. They were all going to Yale, and I was getting like 7 out of 8 Fs on my report card. But even at a very young age, I knew who I was. I liked selling stuff. I sold lemonade. I sold the flowers out of my neighbor's yard back to her. Best business ever. Let's talk about monetizing. Walk over, oh look, flowers. Rip those out. Ding dong. $7, please. Best business ever. This is who I was, and I embraced it early on. As much as I hated making my mom cry with my report card, I knew who I was. And to this day, I think that's ultimately why I'm successful. I want to position myself to succeed, and the way I do that is by rolling at 100% happiness. To answer the question before, when did I ever cry? Only once. I didn't cry, but I thought. Only once in my life have I lived and thought I wasn't totally happy, and that was on my 30th birthday. How many people are not 30? Make some noise. 30 is gonna fuck you up. I was driving, right? Nice. I was driving to Wine Library. At that point, from 1998 to 2005, in that 7-year window, I grew my family business from a $3 to $60 million company. Things were awesome. I was taking care of my friends and my brother-in-law, and everything was great. And I turned 30, I was driving to work, I lived in Manhattan, and driving to New Jersey where Wine Library is, and I said to myself, holy shit, I'm 99% happy. I'm legitimately not completely and utterly happy. I don't think I can buy the New York Jets if I keep doing what I'm doing. And that was it. That's how I started Wine Library TV. I came into the office. I'd been watching my devs watch Zay Frank, the show, and Rocket Boom. I realized that that was something different. This video stuff is gonna click. And I decided right then and then and started putting the foundation to launch my show. I needed to do something else besides buy and sell wine. I wanted to change the wine culture in America. I knew that wine could become more accessible. It was a passion of mine. I wanted to use a new platform. But most of all, and Jeffrey wasn't kidding, most of all, my game is about people. I love it. I love you, dude. Yeah, you. Thanks, man. I love it. I love that, and by putting myself out there, I have the ability to interact. I wanted to talk to people. I thought wine was positioned. A lot of people thought wine was for a bunch of douchebags. I didn't like that, and I thought that people could enjoy wine. I wanted people to expand their palates, and really, that's what I translate into business. I don't understand, and I mean at all. I'm gonna even sit for a second if you don't mind. Let's think about this for a second. This is America, right? We work a shitload as a culture, okay? Like, way too much. I do a lot of business in Europe. When I call to buy wine in Spain in August, it's like, hello? I'm like, hey, Alex, no, fiesta. I mean, nobody works in the month of August in Europe, or weekends, there's a lot of cultures that don't work as much as we do. We work a shitload. How in the world, if we're gonna work this shitload amount of time, are you gonna work in a situation where you're not fucking pumped? How? And meanwhile, 95% of the people in this room are in that position. Now, before somebody came up and said, hey, I just quit my job, and everybody's like, yeah! I was like, does he have bills to pay? What's going on? I'm not proposing, I was like, that's good, but I'm not sitting up here and proposing that 95% of this room go quit their job tomorrow. But what I am proposing is you're doing a lot of dumb shit. Maybe you don't need to play 4 hours of Madden when you hate your fucking job. Right? Seriously, fuck. There is so much time after your job to start positioning yourself. And I am a big believer in creating content. No matter what you do, not everybody is as extroverted and as charismatic and humorous and as good looking as I am. I understand that. However, you may be a great writer or you have a great voice, but everybody has the ability to communicate. And in the world we live in today, which is a world that we have not grasped all the way, I'll get to that in a second. In the world we live in today, you have the ability to put out your content, and if you're not putting out your voice, you're not living in the society we live in anymore. You're just not. And as much as I think Twitter and Facebook are great, I really believe, truly believe, having a home, a webpage, a blog, what have you, is an essential thing. I think those things bring you to your home. So you can have dinner instead of high-fiving somebody, kind of that analogy. The internet, right? You guys hear about that thing? The internet as we know it, the one we know, is 14 or 15 years old. It is laughable, like that laughable. Sorry, I've always wanted to do that. It is that laughable that people still are debating that newspapers are like, they can survive. And I'm not against newspapers. What people haven't grasped is the internet, not fucking Twitter or Facebook. The internet, this platform, is fundamentally going to destroy the ones we know because of so many different reasons. Television is not gonna survive this. Everyone's like, oh, newspapers and radio. And then TV people are always emailing me after a talk like this, like, hey, dickface, yeah, your TV thing? Yeah, well, eat this shit, asshole. More people consume television this year than ever before. And I'm like, fuck face, listen to me. Just because you think you're hot shit now, you're dead, motherfucker, and here's why. Because MP3 players were around for 4 years, and all the music people were like, oh, see, MP3 players are bullshit. But then came around a social product. A product that changed the way we did shit. That little fucking iPod. And you know what happened? Then the music people started paying attention. And when something like maybe boxy, but probably not, a little too nerdy, but maybe not, or some bullshit remote control that allows you to watch TV and any content on your laptop, something's coming. See, I'm not that smart. I can't make that shit. But when I see it, I know what it is. Because in 2006, when all my friends saw Twitter, all the nerds, and they were like, I was like, that shit is gonna be fucking huge. When that product comes along for television, TV is fucked. And it's not, I don't think it's Hulu, because here's what I mean. Hulu is not a social change. A social change is when Grandma Kansas can come home and she wants to watch something about baking, and she turns on her television because she doesn't have a fucking MacBook Air. And she turns on her television, and she's like, oh, I want to watch some baking shit. Oh, look, Food Network doesn't have anything. Oh, that thing. Let me go to channel 101, the information channel. And she just clicks clicking, and there's 400 shows about baking. That's what I'm talking about, because content is being produced. See, the middleman is losing the game because the internet as a platform, not Ustream, not Tumblr, not Twitter. The internet as a whole is changing the way we interact with anything, and every middle is that. I love when people are like, oh yeah, fuck the record industries, iTunes rules. Fuck iTunes. Kanye West is gonna put out his song on KanyeWest.com and you're gonna buy it. You've gotta see where this is all going. It's just starting, and I get it. But if you start watching the progression of where this is all going, and what that means is one very big thing to all of you. It means that if you love ketchup more than life, and you start writing or talking or doing a video about it every single day, and finding all those other freaks that love ketchup more than life, that Heinz is gonna give you $80,000 and you're gonna be fucking pumped. That's the difference. And that is the biggest game-changing thing ever in business and in culture. And I gotta be very blunt with you, I'm fucking pumped about it. Because there's way too many people that love the ocean or love Coca-Cola, but are lawyers. And I think the opportunity is endless. The products are in place, the platforms are in place, the culture is in place, and what you're gonna see over the next 10 to 15 years in the ability for people that have passion to be able to monetize is going to be scary. There's going to be enormous opportunity, and I don't want excuses. I want people to go out there and start doing what the fuck they love, not trying to do dumb shit just because. Do the dumb shit and the stuff you love, and once the stuff you love makes money, drop the dumb shit. Questions? Yes, dear. I'll take care of it, Shira. I'm a big boy now. What's your name?
My name is Ann Good. I met you last night.
Yeah,
I'm
I
a
remember.
dog blogger. I am going to change the dog world like you're changing the wine world, absolutely. Something I'm really, really passionate about. What I want to ask you about is, since you're so passionate about family, as am I, how do you find the balance when you are just so wanting to grab like everything and change, just make so much change happen, but you also are starting a family and you're starting and have other things too. How do you find that? Because you have an ungodly amount of energy. I don't have that energy.
You know, a lot of it is understanding the players in your life, right? I mean, you know, my mom needs less than my dad because my dad's a prima donna. I mean, you know, just the way it is. So it's understanding the players in your life and giving the people you care. I mean, at the end of the day, there's something I do with myself all the time. I'll be randomly driving or taking a poop or a shower, and I'll be thinking, you know, what if I did own the Jets? And I'm on the cover of Time magazine, #1 dude ever that lived, the man, the greatest thing of all time. And then I got a phone call, and Grandma was sick. How do I feel? And I'm really good to, you know, I'm really in touch with my feelings. And I'm like, I feel awful. So why in the world would I live my life any different way? So I think, listen, I want to do it all. I want to crush it to the craziest level. I want to beat everybody's face in a positive business way. But I've got to balance that with the people that are important to my life. And sometimes I go a little too far, but you know, I have pretty good spidey senses to be like, you know, let me get back in here. And so it's a lot of balance.
How do you think that's going to change once baby comes?
I think it's going to change a lot. I'm having a baby in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Why aren't you clapping? Thank you. It's going to change a whole lot. I'm not naive enough to say, I know who I am, but you know, this is a big game changer, and there's a lot of things that will change. I've been building my brand feverishly, traveling, speaking, doing a lot of things. Some things I'm not going to be able to do. But luckily, we have tools on this platform that I'm talking about, the internet, that does not get enough credit. It's 14 years old. The internet hasn't even had sex yet. And it's totally went to television and newspaper and radio and the printing press and said, fuck you, I win. I mean, it's unstoppable. The internet's like LeBron. I mean, this is gonna be unbelievable. Wait another 10 years. Everybody's dead. Everybody. I mean it. And so, shit, that internet is one tough SOB. So because of the internet, maybe a little bit more Ustream, maybe a little bit more of this. So, you know what? You want a good business strategy? You want to leave here with one good business strategy, no matter what you do? I'm gonna give it to you right now. It's unstoppable. Care. That's it. Fucking care. That's who's gonna win. If you care, you win. You're welcome.
So, Gary, earlier you mentioned...
What's your name, dude?
Brandon.
Brandon?
Yeah.
I hear you. All right, man. Yeah, Brandon. I got it.
So earlier you mentioned Facebook and that you use it.
Yep.
Seems like every time that they do anything, change something or change something back, everyone is pissed off about it. What are your suggestions and what are they doing wrong that every time they make a change, it screws everything up?
It's like you've been spying on me. I had a very interesting conversation just 2 days ago with, some important peeps over there. And here's the bottom line. Thank you, by the way, Brandon, because you hooked me up, because there is one thing I wanted to talk about before I went to the Q&A. I believe that the biggest thing that is underrated in business is storytelling. I think storytelling's the fucking game. And I think Facebook sucks. It's like your little kid and your dad's reading to you and you're like, you know what, Dad, you blow. That's how I feel when Facebook does stuff. Facebook is so bad at telling its story. I want to rip my face off my body right now that Facebook has allowed itself to be in a game, in a PR game with Twitter. They're idiots. They're 8 trillion times, whatever, they're 20 times bigger. They got all this stuff. Thanks, Shira. These guys are assholes to allow this to be the story of their company right now. And so I just think Facebook is an awful, 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 awful storyteller. So what do I feel? I feel like fucking deserve it.
What question are you tired of?
What's your name, dude?
Derek.
Oh!
I was up here before.
2 R's?
Just one.
Nice.
What question are you tired of getting asked?
I'll tell you the one, and it's not that I'm tired being asked this question, it's the one question I can't figure out the fucking answer to, and I need to quickly, and I think I do, but I can't. What if you don't know what your passion is? It's a tough question for me to answer, right? And so I've done the whole go in the bathroom, look yourself in the mirror, don't lie to yourself, all this other shit. That question. I hate that question. I want to figure it out because I really do believe. I mean, you look at the average income in the US and you look at these metrics and I listen, there are every dollar that a billboard and a radio station and a newspaper makes in advertising, which, oh, by the way, is, let me give you the answer, shitload billions, okay? Every one of those dollars are in play for us. In play. We can get at it, right? It breaks my friggin' heart. It breaks it. Why did I say friggin' there? All of a sudden I'm just cleaning up my language? What the fuck was that? That was so insane. Anyway, it breaks my friggin' heart that people really aren't happy. Like, legitimately not happy. Like, I'll take 80%. I can live with it right now. There's still transition. Not everybody's seeing it. But the people that are like, totally unhappy working, and I'm like, and sometimes, I get 1,200 emails a day. It's all I do, really, at this point, is answer email, and I'm so damn behind, but I'm answering away, like taking flights, like I'm pumped for things that make me happy now are taking my flight tomorrow so I can answer emails. I feel bad, and I asked them flat, I'm like, how much do you make? And the person's like, I make $43,000, and I'm like, oh my God, please, just like start talking about those dogs in your picture, in your profile. Talk about dogs, you love dogs, talk about it every day, and then just pick up the phone and call every dog business in the world and ask them to buy advertising, and you can make $43,000 a year. And to me, that's a frustration and a desperate want, and I'm pouring my heart and soul of details, because I can sit up here for an hour and do the whole keynote and funny and blah, 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 but that's why I decided to write a book, to straight up blueprint. Do this, Dick, and you'll win. That's the title of the book. Thanks, Gary. Thanks, Gary.
Hi, I'm not Gary.
No?
I'm Patty.
Patty?
With 2 D's.
Awesome.
So quit the shit and do what you want. Yeah, sometimes, well,
Patty, I didn't say that. I said, if you can afford to quit the shit
Right.
and do what you want,
Right.
knock yourself out.
Right.
Remember the whole thing over here was like cheering about the quitting? I was against
no,
that.
no. But
Okay.
sometimes you don't have the choice and you're forced to. Layoffs, right? So I was impacted by one.
Got
of
it.
those, right?
Forced into quitting.
Forced and quitting.
Phenomenal.
So when you're forced to quit.
Yes.
So you're forced. So I was forced to quit.
Okay.
But I used my online network, my LinkedIn network.
Okay.
Okay. The day I got laid off.
Yeah. Your resume. By the way, if you have a resume, you're a dickhead. Go ahead. I mean, the fuck is a resume now?
No,
You don't think they Google your name? Sorry.
that's okay.
So, Freed's mad at words. I'm mad at certain things. Resume being way up there.
Well, okay. I'm
Okay,
with
sorry. Go ahead.
you. Well, you don't really need.
Patty,
it.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's okay. You don't need a resume. You don't need
Maybe
a
you do.
fucking-
I just hate him. Go ahead.
So that day, the power of the internet, right?
Yeah.
Put it out to my LinkedIn groups. Got laid off. Imagine the horror. Anybody hiring? That day, I was attacked.
Attacked
Well, pretty much.
by your internet friends on LinkedIn.
Approached by a starter, right? I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a starter. I want you to come work for me. So I'm thinking, great, sweet, dude, right?
Put the mic closer so can people.
So he goes, I want you to meet me. I want to talk to you about come on board. I said, sweet. So I'm thinking, I wonder if he's single.
Two birds,
I'm-
one stone.
Yeah, right.
Phenomenal.
So I meet
like the way
him
you
at a
think.
networking thing. He walks in and he's like my son, right? I'm like,
Was he cute?
Yeah, he's very cute.
Was he single?
Yeah.
Cougar that shit up.
Nice. So essentially, I got laid off on Wednesday, started working for him on Monday, and him and 2 others. So I worked for 3 young men under the
Are
age
they
of
all
22.
cute?
Huh?
Are they all cute?
They look like Hollister models. I mean, they're all hot, young, smart, scary guys, and I worked for them and was given the opportunity to do this, and we're
I don't know. I feel like everybody wants to get the flayed the fuck off now.
yeah.
Okay?
So, the internet is very powerful, and it was. And so I really didn't have a question, but I just wanted to
Tell your story about the 3 hot
I
young
wanted
guys.
to tell
Thank you so much.
I wanted everybody to know about it and to know that it is a very powerful tool,
Good.
and it is going to evolve, and it is very.
I just think that, it's interesting, LinkedIn, right? I think people are just, listen, Twitter's the hot thing right now, and it's great, and I love those guys, I love Evan. I really hope that people understand, like, here's what drives me crazy. When I see products like Tweety or Twitterific, I'm always like, no, don't you know what's gonna happen? Facebook's gonna open up, and then you're gonna wanna have the open, API to Facebook status, but now you're called Twitterific, so it's a little niche, and then, just keep that in mind if you're a serial entrepreneur and you like to do niche little businesses. Keep in mind that whatever the hot thing is at the time, it's gonna be the hot thing of the time. So go with maybe a little bit of a more global name that you can like bring that into. There's just gonna be new things. It's always gonna change. Here's the funny thing. One of the words I hate is social media. Let me just send out a memo. This is business. The end. This is business. That's what we're doing. These are just tools that are redefined. Twitter is a fax machine. Facebook is a phone. Plurk's like a crayon. That's what these things are. So I just, just keep those things in mind. There's so much opportunity. It's the money. Honestly, we're talking about business. It's the money that's gonna be in play that's gonna freak you guys all out. It's when bottled water company hits me up and says, we'll give you $5,000 a week to put that bottle on Wine Library TV. Listen, this is what people pay for. Eyeballs. Eyeballs is what we freaking monetize. When Seinfeld and Friends were on NBC and there were eyeballs, NBC made money. When they were gone and they didn't have those eyeballs, they didn't. When people have that cultural shift in television and the content moves, that's gonna be such a big deal. And I'm just really yelling and screaming to people to get on the content bandwagon, whatever you do, because there's so much opportunity. There's so much.
Hi, Gary. I'm April.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Great.
Do you ever have those like defining moments where you feel like you've made it, like you are where you want to be? And then I have another question after that.
I feel like I've always felt like I've made it all the time. I don't know. That's just not something that's in my mind, right? I feel like I'm scared for my parents to die. That's the things I think about, not if I made it. You know what I mean? I think about, you know, my brother graduating from college and like helping him with, you know, the VaynerMedia company. I don't, you know, one of the great things that I got lucky with DNA is it's my natural disposition to look at a situation and not think of myself first, which makes you a good salesperson, which makes you realize what products work for other people. So I think the great thing is to be this great contradiction, right? I don't think about myself at all, but I want it all. And I think when you don't focus on that part and you focus on everybody else and caring, you can really, really win. Now, just by listening to me say that, you can't go reprogram yourself. So I think what's imperative at the end of the day, what I'm hoping is people listen here and, you know, embrace who they are. I feel that if you can embrace truly who you are, and we all have flaws, and maybe you know, we're living in this big social, everybody loves everybody, transparent world. Well, what if you're a little, you know, snarky and want some privacy? What are you, dead? Maybe, but at the end of the day, you're not. What I think people attach to is authenticity. Listen, I hate the fact that I know that when people first see me or watch a video or watch Wine Library TV, I mean, I started by yelling, hello, you know. I know that 20% of the people hate me, and it breaks my friggin' heart, really, friggin'. And it breaks my heart, right? And there's just not much I can do. I just want to be myself, and then I'll take all the time in the world to try to engage those 20% people. Somebody said here today that, holy shit, it's the first thing I ever agreed with Gary, that college is fucked up. You know, I want to meet that person and be like, there's nothing else? Come on, dude, let's be friends. You know, like, so, you know, so to me, I feel like, you know, I don't care what anybody says about me, not a soul, but I care what everybody says about me. Do you know what I mean? And so it's important to be a contradiction. If you really break down everything, everybody's a contradiction. You want to be as much of a contradiction as possible. Go global, stay local. Don't care, fucking care.
And how do you explain, when you meet people that don't know who you are, how do you explain what you do?
I don't even, I probably like do something ridiculous. I don't even like, you know what, that's so funny. You know what, thank you. Let me tell you something that really pissed me off forever. This need for our space to convince other people what Twitter was. I was vomiting in my mouth every second over this. But Gary, how do we convince them that Twitter is good? You don't, asshole, that's your competitive advantage. They're gonna figure it out. And now those same people are like, oh man, everybody's bullshit. You know, all the celebrities are on it. I'm like, Dick, you wanted everybody to know, but I didn't know. Yeah, you didn't know. So it's like, you know, I like that. You know, I don't really know. I tell them that I do a wine show on the internet. Like, I don't need, you know, I don't get really ahead of myself. I mean, listen, I'm super confident. I think I'm the best, but I don't, you know, I just want to, I'm more interested in what people have to say. You know, I want to know what they're doing.
Thanks, Gary.
Sure. Hey.
Rachel Osborne.
Oh,
Sorry. I'm Rachel Osborne. I had a question about marketing and dollars because I know when you started doing Wine Library, your sales took a plummet. So how do you now calculate your ROI, like what's coming back from the video show as opposed to, I don't know if you're still doing any traditional media or like what percentage would you say is directly influenced because of Wine Library TV?
Right, so what she's referring to is when I started Wine Library TV, I'd been running Wine Library, and most of my job was to sell about $50,000 to $100,000 worth of wine every day. And the day I decided to start Wine Library TV, I took all my mindset and effort into building Wine Library TV, going to blogs, talking about wine, forums. I couldn't go into Facebook at the time because it was still too much of a college play, and I didn't want to be like the creepy old guy peddling alcohol in Facebook. Twitter basically did not exist. MySpace had a similar thing. That was when all the people were like going after little kids. I was like, I'm staying out of there. So I had to go to like wine blogs and take it really slow. And it took a lot of time, and Wine Library started feeling it because I wasn't selling the wine. I was the closer. I was the guy handling these top 500 accounts. slowly but surely, because of the show and new fans coming in, and then they were interested in what we did at Wine Library and got exposed to Wine Library, the store, because of the show, we caught that up. Let me give you a very true answer. I don't give a shit about ROI. I don't give a shit about Google Analytics. I don't give a fuck about SEO. I give a crap about global branding, leveraging your brand. I do not give a fuck about those little minor details because that's what they are, period. If you're overthinking every tweet or the title of your blog post to get the best SEO, your business is not that good, in my opinion. I could be totally wrong. I mean it. Listen, I'll be very honest with you. I mean this with all my heart. Everything I'm saying up here, don't listen to one word. Listen, I'm serious. Listen to yourself. Just because that doesn't work for me because I want to go global and buy big football teams for billions of dollars, I can't worry about SEO for that. I need to be the biggest brand and leveraging that brand to opportunities. That's what works for me. But for you, maybe you're an amazing writer and SEO works for you, you like that kind of stuff, do what you love because it's the only way to really win this game is to do what you love. It's the only way.
What's up, Gary? I'm John Meyer, John T. Meyer.
John Mayer?
With an E, Meyer.
Got it.
John T. Meyer on Twitter. Actually, more, I guess, I'm now known as the guy who's quitting his job.
Right.
Yeah,
Sorry,
that
dude.
was me. Woo.
Yeah.
Just one quick question. Are you hiring?
So you know the funny thing is, a great example of what I believe, because of my brand equity of building the store, building up the brand of the show, leveraging it to make a 7-figure book deal, all this other stuff. I've done a lot of private consulting. My brother and I, AJ, are launching a company called VaynerMedia, and we're doing consulting, and we've already landed so many gigs that we are hiring. So let's talk afterwards. You want to move to New York?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
I'm from South Dakota, so New York sounds good.
Maybe we'll move to South Dakota.
Yeah, no income tax.
Shit, I might move to South Dakota.
Jim, and I don't know if you'll have an opinion on this or not, but you know this Jets thing you have?
This New York Jets thing?
Yeah. Can you explain the Favre thing?
Yeah, I mean, Woody Johnson, the owner of our team, who I eventually will buy the team from, is a businessman. And a lot of our decisions as an organization right now are done on business. And Brett Favre sells tickets and PSLs, which we're in the process of doing, and jerseys. And, I don't think so different than what we just did by moving up to take, Mark Sanchez. And I think we make business decisions, and Brett was a business, not a football decision. Thank you.
Kyle, KaiGen.com. We make dog toys and pet products. I'm just curious as you expand your business, you can get to a point where you can't answer 1,200 emails a day, and it could grow to 2,400 emails a day. And how do you expand and still stay transparent and be effective with your execution?
Sorry, I'm like that gig. I try. Thanks, Kyle. I mean that. Nobody in here is going to be mad at me because I get, it's very easy for me to take Ustream or Flipcam and say, okay, here's my problem. Hit send and show people that I got 7,000 emails today and be like, I can't beat math, right? And so you try. I think effort is massively important. You do what you can. You start doing different things. You adjust. Reactionary business. None of that. Kyle, you didn't scare me. You think you scared me? I'm kidding. You didn't scare me because then I'll do something new. Maybe all of a sudden I have Friday campfire session, and every Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. or 6 to 9 p.m., whatever it ends up being, I just do Q&A over Ustream, and hopefully a lot of people are asking the same questions and they get what they need out of that. It's just about adjusting. It's about looking at the game and adjusting. It's like the NFL. The Dolphins bring in the Wildcat. Now every football team is doing it. It's a copycat league, and now the defensive coordinators stayed up all summer long wearing their asses off about how to stop the Wildcat. That's what you do in business. Something new happens, listen. And tomorrow I could wake up, read TechCrunch, and see some new site called Majaga. Sign up for it, look at it, and be like, oh shit, this is a game changer. And everything in my world changes. Everything. That's how you need to run a business. It's always got to be reactionary. You can't know or what. What's going to happen is I'm going to apologize and say I'm going to do the best I can. I'll still randomly email some people as much as I can, because why give that up? But here are some people in my world. Here's the wine buyer. Here's my PR team. Here's my assistant. Here's, my, dog trainer. And, so I would just tell the story. Like before, if I tell the story first, I'll win. So what I'll do when I hit that point, which very, 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 very well may happen in 3 weeks when I have a baby, is I'll tape the video. I'll be like, this is my baby. And everybody will be like, oh, I can't answer your emails anymore. I'll try. Here's what's going on. So, I use the baby as like the play. And so, and that's what will happen. So, Kyle, I think it's being reactionary, and I think it's about, being first. I'm going to tell it first before somebody else tells my story and writes a blog post that I'm a jerk off because I don't answer my email anymore. I've sold out.
Hey, Gary, my name is Shane. I work for a large healthcare IT company. I've been in corporate marketing for like a decade. And
awesome.
I think that your message makes a lot of sense to people like in agencies and people who are moving and shaking and that. But in the corporate world, it's tough to take the message and apply it, because as somebody who's been in corporations as long as I have, I want to inject change in these large organizations.
You can't.
So what do? You
leave.
All right.
I consult for Procter & Gamble. There's more lawyers in our sessions than there are us people, the marketing people. And I'm like, so, and he's like, wait. I'm like, I just said so, dick. It's a broken game. It's broken. I'm not mad at colleges, and I'm not yelling at college professors who are amazing. I'm not mad at that. I'm mad at the game. The game of a lot of corporates are broken. They're playing by last year's rules, right? PR as we know it is dead. I did a video on RetireYoungClub.com yesterday about it. What the fuck is a press release? It's the same thing as a fucking resume. What? The game has changed. It's the way it is. Communication tools are different. No longer are corporations in charge of their messaging. Us jerk-offs are. And how we deal with that is the game. And you can't. The only way it can happen is if your CEO, the ace gal, says, this is what I want to do. And you know what? Even she might not be able to pull it off because of the 7 jerk-off board members, right? Or the stockholders, or all this. So good. They're going to lose. And once they all start losing, eventually the 39th that's going to lose is going to say, you know what? Look at the other 38. Maybe we should do something. Nah, we'll just lose. And they lose. But the 40th, it's the 40th. So you're not changing jack shit, please. There's no magic potion. People pay me a lot of money to come in and talk to a company who really believe in what I'm talking about, thinking I'm going to come in and miraculously change corporate America. I come in and put on a good show. I get them to think differently. Maybe sometimes things can happen. But boy, oh boy, oh boy, this is a tight, tangled, bullshit, fucking hated web. And there's only so much that can be done, but that's the game. That's the game.
Right, so how do we get the other 100 million worker bees in the United States to believe that they can walk away?
Here's how. What do you love?
I love a lot of things.
Write them off. Go ahead. Knock yourself out.
I love my wife. I love movies, music. I love stuff like this where I can interact with really smart people and listen to them and be inspired. But I love to...
What do you got the chops in? Besides what you do, what do you get the chops in? What do you think that you could walk into right now, have a conversation, talk about? What subject matter do you have the chops in that you feel like you can roll and counter and have a debate?
Anything.
What's that?
Anything.
I'm sorry?
Anything.
Oh, anything. Okay, well, you're one cocky son of a bitch. Okay, so that's awesome. That gets me, now we're rolling. Great. So now I would tell you very simply, what's your work schedule at work? How do you work?
Too much.
Okay, what is it?
8 to 11.
PM?
Yeah.
How much do you like sleep?
A lot.
Me too. I would tell you, here's what, honestly, are you unhappy at some level? Are your bosses here?
I'd like things to be different.
Okay, so here's what I would tell you to do. Too many people take it, and again, hear what I say, and you say, oh shit, he said 9 to 7. Well, fuck, I'm home at 11. I'd like to see my wife for a second. I need some sleep. am I 1 to 3? That's hard. 2 to 4? That's hard. I can't live on 4 hours of sleep. One move that I've been consulting people to do and telling people to do, okay, so now take what you make, figure out what you need to make to pay your bills and whatever, and go get a different job. You're unhappy at this one anyway. Maybe you're making $1.25 or 75, I don't know. Go get a job at fucking 7-Eleven that gives you, enormous freedom. Shit, I don't give a fuck. Work on your shit about whatever niche you decided to take at work. I mean, you see some, I was at the airport yesterday. This girl was on the phone and her thing, I'm like, are you paying attention? She was doing all her shit. That's the job you're looking for. Right. Get paid. Do all your own shit. You've got this blog about music. Blog while fucking Neiman Marcus pays your ass to sit in the fragrance department. Then come home and do it some more, and then go after your money, and then finally say, fuck you, Neiman Marcus. I'm now making enough to just do the cockiest son of a bitch musicsite.com. And you fucking won. Right? It's there. Because here's what's funny. Everything I believe in was impossible 5 years ago. You had to go to fucking LA and get discovered by some dick face and maybe get some luckiness. Fuck that. I was a Jersey guy, sat in my office, I made my shit, loved the people that watched it, and then CAA signed me. Conan's producers emailed me. Ellen's producers emailed me. Nightline's producers emailed me. I got in the front of the Wall Street Journal because they emailed me. I didn't have a PR person or an agent. You don't need jack shit. Those middle people suck shit. Put out great stuff, care about stuff, put out that content, use the tools to distribute it. Twitter, Facebook, Ping FM, all that horse shit out there, make it happen and fucking win. Seriously, I think that's an important one. Thank you, because that was fun, because too many people are like, I don't have the time, and they don't realize there's a middle move in the thing I'm talking about, which is after hours. Go out and find a job that's some bullshit that pays you enough, and you lose 30 or 40,000, whatever it may be. Figure out your finances, make sure you can afford to do it. But then really, start building content around what you love. You will shit your pants with the things that start happening. You will be blown away. You can always get new pairs of pants.
Hey Gary, my name is John Larson. We're doing a web app for professional coaches. I absolutely love what you're saying about the internet just demolishing all known institutions. And I'm wondering if you think it's relevant, the ability of the internet to do that, given any threats to net neutrality. Like, is that relevant, do you think? Is that going to pose any obstacles to the net be able to just demolish all these institutions?
It's funny. Listen, I'm not Nostradamus, right? I don't know exactly what's going to happen, but I can tell you right now that people are just naive. You know what? It always comes down to you don't want to believe it until it hits your home, right? As soon as it starts hitting your home, you don't believe it. And I just know that what I guess I'm passionate about is, I'm not sure to answer. I don't know. But what I do know is this. $50 billion in advertising money is in play, and people that are not happy right this second sitting down should start talking about the things they love, because there's an advertiser for every niche out there. And I just think it's such a massive cultural shift. And when an iPod-like play happens for television specifically, it's going to be such a shit show. It's going to happen so fast, and who's ever in position to capitalize on it is going to win. And so, man, if you're obsessed with rubber bands, get on that. So,
cool,
that's kind of where I'm at. Sure, man.
Hey Gary, Chris Larkin from the City Weekly. Not to pull a James Lipton on you, but what's your favorite swear word and why?
Friggin'. What's my favorite swear word? I don't know. I don't know if you guys know this about me. I don't curse. I've never cursed on Wine Library TV. I've done 700 shows. I don't really curse in real life. There's something about business and just this space and what's going on and getting in front of a lot of people and caring about it. And I don't know what it is, but I just go crazy, Jersey cursing on. I don't even know what I'm saying. I have no idea what I've just said for the last 45 minutes. That's why I have to rewatch it. It's just, I don't know. I have no idea. I have no fucking idea.
Kevin Reed, and to follow that question up, is it true that after your book deal, you're going to have a development deal with ABC Family Channel?
Yes, the Family Channel and I are working on something very serious.
Fantastic.
I'm going to be tutoring kids in business. Hey.
Hi, Gary. I'm Christina. My boyfriend's a Jersey boy, so Jersey's where it's at.
No doubt.
You were talking about monetizing through advertising and stuff. What do you think the best way for, like, say, a blogger to do that is? Do you think affiliate networks are the way to go? Do you feel like reaching out to the companies themselves?
Sure.
How would you suggest
Yes.
going about doing that?
All of it. I think it's the mentality. So it's the hot girl rule, right? I told my buddy, who's like 7 years ago, he's like, dude, I want a hot girlfriend. I'm like, okay. I'm like, dude, here's what you do. Go up to every hot girl you see for the rest of your life and ask her out. That's what I think about advertising. Eventually somebody's gonna say yes. It's a guaranteed play. You know, if you got the, skin to be rejected 800 times in a row, 801 is gonna be a crazy play. You know, you've seen it. You walk around, you're like, how did that dude get that chick? He used the rule. He used it. So that's how it is with business. I did a video that I got so lucky on my personal site, because I video blog about business on my personal name site, where I said, okay, I'm starting because I get this question all the time. How do I monetize? So I said, turned on the camera, I was like, all right, I'm starting a beer blog. Not really, but let's make pretend I did. I went to Google, I typed in beer. I saw all the advertisers on the right side, those boxes. I clicked them and called the first person. He was selling some glasses. I was just gonna leave a message and that was gonna be the point. The dude answers the call. He goes, hello. I'm like, hello. I'm like, hey, I've got this beer blog. I run a wine blog. I'm about to launch this beer blog. I got a lot of viewers on the wine blog. I'm gonna have a lot of viewers on the beer blog. Would that be a place that you'd be interested in advertising in? He goes, well, I might be interested. He's like, we're starting to advertise a little bit on this internet thing. He goes, we're using the Google. I don't know if you know if that's a big thing, but they got tens of thousands of users. I'm like, I see. That is a lot. This guy had no clue. No clue. You have to watch it. It's worse than what I just did. But the fact of the matter is, he's like, please call me the second's up. I've got, a couple $100 for it. That video, I still, every single day, get 5 emails a day from people saying, I now make $600 a month because of you based on this. I did a show, thanks man. I did a show where I opened up a pack of sports cards and I'm like, here's a show that somebody needs to do. Open up an old ass pack of cards, buy it on eBay for like $4, the boxes, nobody cares anymore, and just talk about the players. 90 people did it, because that's just how shit works. But one of them just landed a $40,000 a year deal with Upper Deck. So, by the way, everything you can think of, neckties, coffee. Where is the coffee version of me? Are you fucking kidding me? That person will make bank. Where is the tea version, the root beer version? I'm gonna do it. It goes on and on. Where's the gardener? Where's the sushi expert? If you own a restaurant, are you out of your fucking mind to not build the brand of your chef and staff? Tape that shit. It's unbelievable. But people are just not realizing what's happening in front of them. So affiliate programs, hell yeah. Of course. Just be transparent. Don't try to hide it on them. Tell them, I like this book. Here's the book. By the way, we do, you can put at the bottom, like everything we recommend is affiliate links. As long as you're transparent, if tomorrow, after all the street cred I built up with my community, kind of like what Jeffrey said, and I talked about decanters and said, by the way, all these decanters are not available at Wine Library, but they're available at different sites, but these are affiliate links. Some people moan and groan. I'm sure just, where I'm at as a brand, I'll probably get more, but for the majority, it's kind of back to the Facebook thing. It just beat everything to the punch. Anything you're worried about, this is what kills me. Anything you're worried about, let me give you a hint. You're right. They are gonna be mad. So you know what? Address it. When you launch a new feature, have something pop up and explain it. Do a video. It's more authentic. I'm sure Threadless in 2006 would have done a video instead of the post, and you would have saw Jake's face and you would have been like, he's sad. And it would have been even more powerful. So, hell yeah, everything. Cold calling. Take that shit. It's in play. They want to hear it. Here's the funniest thing. You'll create another revenue stream. They'll be like, yeah, I'll buy a $500 ad. Hey, let me ask you a question. do you want to come in to the office and tell us about this internet thing? We'd like to know. All of a sudden, you're getting paid to consult and this and that. And so, if you don't go out and get it, I will. Is that it?
Gary, I think that's it. What time is
Bullshit.
it? So don't tell Gary your ideas or else he might steal them. No, I'm kidding.
What's that?
Because you're like, if you don't get it, I will.
That's fair.
Well, what a great way to end an amazing conference. Let's just give it a round of applause for Gary. Always an inspiration, always an unconventional way of talking to us.
It's not about polish, it's about your heart. And
Yeah.
if you put that heart into the shit you love, that shit is undefeated. And with that, I'm out.
Awesome.